into our next speaker. Our next speaker is Matt Callanan. Matt started Kindness Project. We Make Good Happen by accident after meeting his hero, Bill Murray. Matt owns one of the largest domains in the world. I'm sure I saw someone put it in the chat earlier. I am not even going to begin to, it's just Callanan International, right? And his Tenor for Good campaign went viral and has been done everywhere from Australia to Africa. So this is a man who's making a very huge impact in the world. Here to share his kindness story with us today on how to be the domino is Matt Callanan.
Hello. Thank you, Julie. Let us know in the chat whether you can hear us. So I've got quite a big setup here. Can you hear us? Yes, awesome. Right. So a few years ago, I was speaking. I had one of these in front of me, and I was speaking opposite a guy called Adam. We were creating a little podcast episode. Little did I know the implications and domino effect of speaking into a microphone to someone, and someone got inspired, and it was a life-changing moment for a person and their family in Africa. So I'll come back to that shortly. Now, we all know men, and science has proved this, men are the kinder and most generous of species in comparison to women. Now, I don't, yeah, exactly. People are laughing. Now, we all know that is completely made up. Unfortunately, well, women are the kinder and most generous of species, and science has proved that. Now, when I started We Make Good Happen, I actually started it because my dad unfortunately died of cancer at 58. And when I was early on in being a dad myself to my son Albie, he's 5 and could disturb us at any moment, I was thinking, how could I be a better dad? And my dad was always really generous. He was always taking us to food banks when we were growing up and doing stuff for the homeless. And I thought, how could I be a better dad? How can I be a better bloke? How can I be a better man? How can I be an inspiration to my son? And hopefully my son will see that kindness is a really kind of powerful tool to make the world a better place and be a better human. No. So I started We Make Good Happen as a kindness project, basically as a father-son legacy, and it just developed from there. And one of the things I wanted to do was start a podcast. And originally I wanted to do a podcast about kindness. But I know there's some great podcasts already out there to do with kindness. Plus, a bit like today, sometimes we're almost talking to the converted. So I started a kind of business podcast, a success podcast, and I'm slowly trying to batter men over the head through kindness, and it's working. Women do listen to my podcast as well, but that's my kind of underlying theme. I wanted to highlight successful and kind people, and indirectly and directly try and encourage more people to be kind around the world. Yeah, so this is now in the public domain. Not many people know this. So I was speaking to Adam on this mic and doing this podcast episode, and one listener that I didn't know, he was a pilot out in Dubai, emailed me and said, I love listening to that episode. Have you got Adam's details? Now, this guy, Adam, I've done some stuff with him. He runs an amazing project called Taking Pictures, Changing Lives, where he crowdfunds travel, and then he goes and takes pictures and videos for charities around the world that can't afford professional looking photos and videos, because he recognizes the power of powerful images, powerful video, and powerful storytelling. And this is what we talked about on that episode. And this pilot out in Dubai got in touch with Adam after I sent him the email, and little did I know that he got in touch with Adam and said, loved that episode, really inspiring what you're doing. How can I help? And Adam said, well, it'd be great if you just started donating. And so this pilot started donating quite a good amount of money, to the point where Adam was then able to buy a brand new digital SLR camera. And the next time he was out in Africa, he went and took it out, and he took it to a local photographer, because he trains up local photographers to also kind of help with this cause. And he gave it to this local photographer called Gene, who was then able, with this brand new digital SLR camera and all these really good lenses, to take amazing pictures for these charities, and in like a kind of domino effect, a ripple effect, bring in more donations and highlight these amazing kind of social causes and charities. But also, aside from doing stuff for the project, Gene was then able to take amazing photos and freelance as well. And he earned so much money from doing this freelance photography that he was able to buy a plot of land, and then he was able to build a house on it for him and his family out in Africa. So little did we realize the ripple effects and the domino effects of us just telling a story into a mic on a podcast episode inspired a listener out in Dubai, a pilot, to take action, which then created this amazing ripple effect. So this is what I'm all about, is thinking about how can small dominoes have amazing results all around the world. And there's a really good video that I normally show where a little scientist starts with a 5mm high domino, and he knocks a few down. And basically he says after a 5mm domino, it can normally knock down about 1.5 times the size. By the 29th domino, it would knock down the size of the Empire State Building. And that's exactly what can happen when you create ripples, small acts of kindness, whether out in the world or you and your colleague or in your workplace, can have amazing positive effects all around the world. So I did this thing called Tenor for Good, and you can do it. I've done it in America, in Austin and things like that, in Dublin with euros and dollars. And I hid a load of these around my city in Cardiff, in Wales, in an envelope, and it turned it into a good deed treasure hunt. And inside these envelopes were 2 rules. 1, don't spend the money on yourself. And secondly, go out and do something good with it. And that it went viral, and some amazing things happened and created people all around the world, in America, Australia, and even out in Africa, doing the same thing, using the same kind of principles and instructions, and they created these amazing ripples around the world. But so amazing things can happen, especially if you think a bit creatively, with a small amount of money. And one of my good things that I like to do, you see, I like books, and I know the power of books, is that I also hide £10 notes in books when I visit different cities, with a little note saying, enjoy the books, usually kind of self-help books or kindness books. Enjoy the book, and have the book on me. And at one point, if you feel the need, go and pay it forward. And that's created some amazing ripples as well. Yeah, so think about what you could do, just small acts of kindness that could have a positive effect on other people. I mean, the other thing that we've done as a collective is that we've heard of a 100-year-old lady who was in a care home called Marjorie, and she didn't have any family, which was really sad. And lots of people were sending in birthday cards, but we went one step bigger. We put on a birthday party for her, and we had kind of singing and dancing and music, and we spoke to loads of people and paid lots of attention and listened to all these people in the care home. And people in the care home actually said this was the best day they'd ever had in the care home, because we had this massive celebration and people were genuinely and authentically listening to these people. And we put on this massive party. We nearly burnt the care home down, which probably wasn't good, with 100 candles and this massive cake. But what we also did was adopt Marjorie, this 100-year-old lady, because she didn't have any family. We adopted her as our official We Make Good Happen now, and we used to go back and visit her and stuff like that. So we treated her as family. So think about how you can make someone's day or tell your message through a mic. Create a bit of action through a small amount of money or a small act of kindness. I always think, how could you Make someone's day. How could you make someone's day? It doesn't have to be big, but it just shows that you're thinking about someone else. And it just needs to be that little domino. And it doesn't, you don't have to be expecting this massive domino effect, but actually each of those people, those little things is enough. You know, I always say, if you end up changing one person's life or one person's pathway, even in a slight way, that is enough. So if you want to check us out, same as my t-shirt, we make good happen. You can find us on Facebook and go and check out some of the things they do. You also can find out how this project actually started with a chance meeting of Bill Murray. You can have a look at my website, see some of the other things I can do, www.matthewcallanan.international. But remember, thank you for putting those in. But remember, and it's something like Bobby also alluded to as well, take the action. You are the domino. You are the domino. Doesn't have to be big, but it can have amazing effects all around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Matt. We really appreciate you again sharing space with us. I want to hear from the audience. Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I want to get yes. That's right. Give me those yes. We have been having such an amazing time. Such an amazing time. You are the domino. Thank you so much for that and for sharing your kind story. We really appreciate it. You know where to find him, everyone. He's giving you the keys. Now go out and be the domino.